Alright, I am back from my weeks-long slumber from doing videos on this channel. Sorry, I just feel like there hasn't been all that much exciting stuff in the music world to talk about. But hopefully there's something that we could talk about, maybe review, or just think about with this world of music. Maybe there's something exciting. Kanye still hasn't dropped his album? Does this thing even exist? Come on. Oh well, I guess I gotta talk about something else. Welcome back to my series that I like to call Music Talk. Basically, it's a series that I like to do when I want to discuss an album, mixtape, EP, etc., etc., something music related that may not be worthy of a full review because I don't want to break down the quality of it, but there's some kind of bigger picture or something going on that's more interesting than much of the content of the music. Before I get into today's topic though, I feel like I need to talk about a dishonorable mention for 2019. One of the worst albums that I've heard this year. I want to give a quick discussion on it just so it doesn't seem awkward when I place it on my worst of list later this year. That is the Nostalgia Critic album, The Wall. I'm not going to go on too long about this. I think everyone's already gave it the what for and shat on it for being what it is. Most of my thoughts are the same. I'll even put it like this. Call me uncultured, call me whatever you want to call me. I never actually even listened to the original Pink Floyd album, The Wall, or saw the film The Wall. That said, no matter how polarizing it is or no matter how bad people say it is, I can tell you it cannot be worse than this. This thing is an absolute headache-inducing train wreck. Doug Walker's musical chops, if he even has any, are really not on display here. It's pretty much a waste of some pretty decent Rob Scallon instrumentals, and honestly, the less we have to talk about Corey Taylor singing the SpongeBob song, the better. That was absolutely disgusting. This album was absolutely awful. I wish I never heard it. Now on to the topic of the video. I told you that was going to be quick, but this is the first time in Music Talk that I'm going to be talking specifically about a single and not a tangible project like a mixtape, EP, album, etc. Because there's something about this single that really made me think and made me ask a huge question about one of the artists on it. That single, as you could tell by the title, is the track Twisted by French Montana featuring Juicy J, Logic, and A$AP Rocky. Even though I'll be honest with you, when I first heard the song, I didn't even hear Rocky on it. Now look, I'm not gonna say I had super high expectations for this song because it's a French Montana song. I'm not here to dog on him in the way that a lot of other people have, but to me, French Montana hasn't really done a whole lot of interesting stuff. Like, I'll be honest, there are a few songs with him on it that I like to listen to, like Unforgettable, but most of the time it's because of the artists he features and not for he himself. Like in that song, I really liked Sway Lee on it. Or like that Paranoid remix with Ty Dolla $ign. I liked it for Ty and Trey Songz, but I generally skip it once French Montana's verse pops up. This video is not gonna be on him because his appearance on this song is just boring and unmemorable, as one could reasonably assume. A lot of the melodies on this thing are not so great. It's not really that good of a song, obviously, but the one thing that I want to zero in on here is Logic's verse. Already it's been getting a lot of criticism, and I can agree it's not really all that much outside of a sort of bouncy flow, but there's one particular lyric I've been thinking about a lot on this song that's making me think about Logic's character a bit. And that lyric is when he says, 1-800 then I kill the pussy who can relate. Not only a reference to his polarizing suicide awareness song, 1-800-273-8255, but also a reference to the much maligned and memed out who can relate that he screams on the chorus. Now I'll be honest, I actually like that song. And I like some of Logic's projects. I even kind of liked Everybody, the album that song came off of. And I liked Logic a lot as a person. He seemed like just this likable guy that even if his music wasn't the most cutting edge or great stuff that you've ever heard in hip hop, you rooted for him. You thought, yeah, he might not be like a Kendrick Lamar or something like that, but you know, he's a nice guy. You like to cheer for the nice guy. But I heard this lyric and it brings up something that I didn't really think about before until now. Is Logic a clout chaser? I know, that's a big thing to ask, but I have to think about this. I have to ask it because the more I think about it, the more I feel like he is. Here is why. Back in 2017, when the Suicide Awareness song came out, it seemed like Logic was just doing a good thing, making a song about suicide awareness, and when he performed it, giving some nice messages about suicide, mental health, PLP, all that good stuff. Then on his last record, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, which I'll have my reaction and review of in the description, I heard the track Keanu Reeves and it sounded like he was was kind of bragging about the fact that he made that song, which already put me off. Even if the song was meant to be a bit ironic, even if it was meant to do stuff like that, I was like, wait a minute, why is he bragging about making a song about suicide awareness? That's not something to brag about. To me, Logic bragging about his suicide awareness song is almost the equivalent of if Donald Trump tried to brag about throwing paper towels in Puerto Rico after the hurricane. That, or it's like the equivalent of someone giving a penny to a homeless person and then tweeting like, hey, I gave money to a homeless person. I'm such a great guy. Now, not only does he have a track where he's bragging about the 1-800 song, but he's using it as a punchline. I'm sitting here starting to wonder, did Logic just make that 1-800 song for clout? Because I guess he must have thought, hey, this song will give me a lot of positive press. Let me make this song. To hell with it if I actually care about suicide awareness or anything like that. Let's just make a song about it. It'll get popular on the charts and everyone will think I'm a nice guy. I also think he's a bit of a clout chaser because think of it this way. Logic's persona really switched on his last record. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, while listening to it, I felt like I couldn't cheer for Logic. It felt like he was really trying to adopt a villain persona, and with some of the things he was saying on that album, like the line about his biracial penis, or that he wished he was bipolar because of Kanye, I kind of wondered if Logic was entering into this boat of, hey, no publicity is bad publicity. And now here, by basically subtly admitting that he made a suicide awareness song for clout, I'm just wondering what the hell happened. Like, I may have gotten into Logic's music later than most. Again, I got into him through that suicide awareness song, and the only projects that I've listened to from Logic are the Tarantino tapes, Everybody, and the stuff since then. But when I first saw him, when I heard about the suicide awareness song and saw the live performances, I thought, wow, Logic's the nice guy. Like, I like this guy. He seems cool. He seems chill. When the hell did he decide that he wanted to be a villain? When did he get into this whole boat of, you know what, I'll say the most asinine shit on the planet, but hey, no publicity is bad publicity. That's what it sounds like he's doing, especially throughout Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. So I guess that's the question that I want to know throughout this. Is Logic a clout chaser? Am I reading too deep into this, or does it legitimately feel like Logic is just doing what he's doing because, hey, he needs some clout? Like he's just tired of being the nice guy in rap that people could root for and still enjoy, and he's just decided, you know what, the villain persona is my life now. I just gotta ride it out, even if it means making a punchline out of a suicide awareness song. And there's another big question that I have to ask in this video. Does Logic need a break? Think about it. I mentioned this in my review of Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, but Logic put out 4 records. 4 full-length records. Even if one was classified as a mixtape and one was a soundtrack, at the end of the day, he put out 4 full-length albums in just over a year, with pretty diminishing returns overall. The only one that was better than the last was Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, but that's just because Supermarket was that bad. He's been putting out a lot of stuff to diminishing returns, and he's been receiving a lot of big features, notably this one, and it seems more and more that any goodwill that he had is starting to be shed because of stuff that he said on Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, or stuff that he said on a track like this. Does he need a break? I've been hearing people on Twitter even ask about that. Like, people on Twitter were telling him to put down the mic. Does he need to? I wanted to ask if a change of pace in his music would be necessary, but after hearing Supermarket, which was him tackling a whole new genre, I'm wondering if that's actually going to do him as well as we hope. And if not, is Logic too far gone? Like, what does he do about this whole villain persona that he's adopted? Does he keep it going even if we complain about it and don't like it? Or is it something where he decides to take a break, look within himself, try to do something a little bit different? What is Logic's course of action at this point is what I'm wondering. Because again, it's clear Logic's music has been slacking lately. I'm sure his fans still love it, and if you do, great. I'm glad that you still enjoy it. But he's losing some of that goodwill he had after coming out with the suicide awareness song. His music is kind of getting worse and worse. He's adopting this villainous persona of kind of clout chasing and not really caring how dumb his words are as long as it gets him attention. Is a break in order? It's hard to tell, but I'm just kind of thinking he does need a break, or he needs to stop being the villain, saying stuff like this, or doing stuff like this. The man literally is almost admitting with some of his recent lyrics that he made a suicide awareness song just for clout, and less so for the actual issue. Yes, the song may have helped people, and apparently the calls to the National Suicide Hotline increased after the song's popularity, but he's kind of over here just bragging about it and kind of like, yeah, you know, I did that. How's that? Woo, look at me, Mr. Good Guy. That's not really what you should be doing about a suicide awareness song. I don't know, I'm just so confused by Logic's direction at this point. It feels like he's trying more and more to make it harder to cheer for him. So what do you guys think about all of this? I'm really curious because, again, Logic is just leaving me more and more conflicted with a lot of his new stuff. Is he a clout chaser? Does he continue this villain persona? And does he need a break? Those, I think, would be the three biggest questions of this video that I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on. Leave those thoughts down in the comment section. Let's keep this civil and have some fun. If you guys want to hit like and subscribe, I appreciate it. If not, you guys know that I'm no beggar, so just do as you please. And I'm not quite sure what's coming next. There really hasn't been all that much lately. I know that there are some artists that I like that are working on new albums. Hopefully they'll have them out by the end of the year. But until that happens, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.